Hello all, how y'all doing today? Hope everybody's doing great. Just a quick little deal here. Got this big old rotten log that's on the outside's really soft, but the inside seems pretty hard, so I want to see what it's gonna be. This piece, about 5 feet long and about 22 to 23 inches on one end. So it's 22 is the max. We're gonna see if we can get by with it, you know. May have to chainsaw the edges off a little bit. But this piece came off of this old tree that's fallen down forever ago, who knows when. And of course, as you can see, I've got my new blade sitting there, but I'm gonna use the old cruddy blade on this since it's all this nasty soft stuff and bark. Just to see if I can whittle it down, and then we'll open that box up, see how the blades come in the box, and see if I can show y'all how to put one on pretty easy. Get started playing around to see if we can get this done. Of course, it also took my tractor, which could barely even pick this thing up. It seems pretty good and hard there, and that's a pretty good piece of wood in there. Is hard, so I'm really hoping to get some nice pretty planks or something. I just can't wait. I've been wanting to just knock this thing out. So if y'all could possibly, as I'm cutting this, or if you can tell by possibly the bark, because I'm not sure yet what this could be. I mean, we've got all kinds of different trees out here. Could be some type of an oak maybe with the bark, I'm thinking. I'm not really sure. I'm not a tree expert. Could be, we've got poplars out here. I know it's not a cedar, and it doesn't have the bark like a pine tree, so I know that kind of knocked those two out. I guess we'll find out. So if y'all have any clues or ideas of what kind of bark this could be, maybe once I start cutting into it, some of you experts out there that have been doing this for a long time with the sawmill, just by the wood, you know, once it starts getting cut and you're like, oh, hey, that's that stuff, you know, let me know, man. Throw it down in the comments. I'd really appreciate it, because I'd like to know what the rest of that tree is. But I don't think I can cut any more on that. This is about the biggest piece or smallest piece I could get off that big old log, that tree that fell down. So now I've got the fun of chopping that thing up. So all right, let's see how bad we can mess all this up. Well, it's got a few little hard spots still in here.
Down there is really soft.
And through the middle it's a little bit, that's taken off probably about almost 2 inches of this top. Now we get the fun of seeing if I can get this thing flipped somehow, because I already had a hard time getting it up here with kind of half pushing it with the tractor, and me and Shauna trying to get it on there, but I don't know, it's already starting to look like it could be kind of pretty once I get down into it more.
I want to bring those
Just
up.
put some butt into it.
I guess you know, it works.
See if I can get that thing to roll a little bit.
Let's see. I'm not going to stand there.
See if you can pull this thing out some.
Oh, no, I got to push. A little more. It's good. You just need to put the so soft.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Don't do this at home. Whatever you do, this is not the correct way to do it, but like I said, I was pushing the limit with this one, and it's kind of a curved shape,
But we don't want it to go to waste.
so I'm going to try to attempt to take a little bit off, because I can't put to tighten up the log with on the other side, the little log stop or log tightener, because it sticks out past my legs. So well, that kind of worked, but it looks like the little wood beetle that was in here, the blade's good enough, it'll cut him at a really good angle. Poor guy, he wasn't expecting that stuff this morning, now was he? But that is just some weird stuff. Cut him pretty clean too.
It's still so soft.
It's getting harder through here.
There's some good wood in there. I know there is.
Oh, there's a good biddle piece in there. All right. See, this is hard,
Yeah, up to about here.
but it's soft here.
Oh yeah, this is all soft here. Soft.
Well, we got it pretty squarish. Still a lot of soft parts on it, but we've got it about 13 inches by about 16 inches. I think I'm going to start just cutting some little pieces off of this and see what it looks like. But since I had the old blade on there to kind of go through all this nasty rotten stuff, let's see what the blades look like, how they get packed, and put a new one on so we can see if we can get some really nice, pretty cuts out of this now, without about 6 or 7 broken teeth off this one. Let's get that going. All right, so I got them wired together here to prevent rust. Keep this paper, obviously this specialty paper in there. Huh, that little bitty sheet, I guess, helps out. Cover that up so we don't get hurt. You got this one center bolt knob that holds it. You've got a latch here on top, a latch on this other side, and a latch over here on this side. And then they just swing open. Come over here and turn your knob to let off the tension. Yeah, it just undoes that tension real well. So I would suggest grabbing the bottom part and the top part here. I probably suggest also wearing gloves. Probably need to go get my leather gloves, because that would probably stop from little sharp points. So that's the blade, and I'm guessing I'm just going to keep this little blade to do like little small rough cuts or something with stuff, because it wouldn't be bad just to get through all the dirty nasty wood first, the bark and everything, and then pop a new blade on, since it's not that hard to really do. Bring right back apart. So I wonder what's the easiest way to get them. I've got them all kind of sucked into each other, you can see. I guess just pull, group them out, slide one out. Well, so we can get them back in the box. Push them all back together the way they had them. Re-put them back together. Well, voila!
Should you be wearing gloves?
Yes, I should be wearing gloves, my dear, because I already mentioned that once before. I don't think those would do as good, but and aren't these sized for your tiny hands?
Do you want me to go get your gloves?
Well, now my wife's gloves are all stretched out. Now let's see if this is a one-man operation or not. Line along the top. Hold it back in there. Slide it in between those two blocks. Don't lose your little knob. And I'm just getting it straightened up on the wheel about even before I tighten it back up. And I've already started to tighten it up, so you can see there's some tension on it where it's curved back up to this. When it's not real hard to turn, you just keep turning it. That is the proper tension, right? Because if we go one more,
Nope, bring it back.
that sucks in. So come back out to where it's just right there at the edge level. That should be the proper tension. So it made it pretty idiot proof. All right. Well, that seems simple enough. Let's see if that was the way I do it or not. Make sure you put all your little latch hooks back. Tighten her up. Well, let's see if we did it right.
Hopefully.
Well, as you can see, I should have brought one of those other pieces of little softness here on the edges. Real hard right here through this middle. But look how smooth that now cut. Oh, look. That's a little larva in the wood.
You chopped him up. You chopped his face off.
But that little bug is having a bad day. Yep, there's the other half of it. That's a big old bug. But look how smooth that's now cutting, see? It's amazing when you don't have broken teeth on your saw blade. Isn't that just nifty? Alright, well, I'm going to have a little bit more fun. Try to stick around. And if you like the fun that I'm having, please, give us a little thumbs up. Hit the subscribe, share with your friends. Make sure you get our notifications so that, whenever we're doing something, we sure would like you to know about it. And definitely leave me comments like crazy down there. I'm either way, good or bad, or tell me how much of a moron I can be sometimes when I'm doing stuff. And if there's always an easier way or a better way or a proper way, let me know. I'd really appreciate that, because I like to try to do everything right the first time, and let me get some more cutting done on this and see what we can get this to really look like. Be back in a little bit. All right, a lot of fun. I don't know if y'all enjoyed watching it, but I enjoyed doing it. I don't know if you can kind of tell on the camera, but I threw a little bit of water on this one because I've seen a lot of other people do it. And you can kind of see the comparison, I guess, if you were gonna, throw a little water on there to see if that's like the look you want, if you would stain it or put like a clear coat or something on it. And so I guess that's what it would kind of pop out and look like. So you can kind of really see how much it would pop out, by putting a stain or something on it, compared to the dullness. But still, isn't that some beautiful stuff? So we had what? About a 22-inch maximum point for that sawmill. A little over 5 feet. I think it was, let's see here. Well, with the angle that I made the cut when I cut it, so let's just say 64 inches. So 5 feet 4 inches. These two, my wife saw they're real pretty, so she wants me to try to do something special with these. So we got what, 2.5 inches by 7 3/8. So we can trim that down, on a table saw, make them like maybe 7-inch boards or something, just to get them all good and make sure they're good and straight, sanded up. So we got 2 of those out of that, plus we got all of this great little pieces that I was just playing around with and doing. Most of these I cut at about 3/4 of an inch. A few of them I cut at 1/2 inch. But we got some 4.5 here, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boards out of that. 5 of them are 1/2 inch. 1 of them is a 3/4. And then we've got 3 1/2 inch and 2 3/4 inch. And those are 4 1/8. Then we got some 7.5 inch boards. Got 4 of those that are 3/4 inch. Got some 13.5. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roughly. Sorry about that, big truck went by. And then a little 2x4 out of that. Some of this is still a little soft on the ends. I may not be able to use the whole 5 feet, but that produced a good amount of wood out of that, and most of it rotten. Of course, I've got a big pile still over here of some more of the wider boards that I can maybe still do something with, but of course, you know, it's wood. None of it's gonna go to waste. I mean, you can always put it in your fireboxes, you know, your cook stoves. I mean, it'll still burn, and you know, no use to just throw it away. So, and of course, you know, a few beetles and bugs lost their life today for all my excitement and fun of cutting up a really big log. And of course, this outside was all big and rotten. So if you didn't have a completely rotten board or log pretty much halfway around it, that would have made a lot more wood. And like I said, I'm still just kind of playing, so I haven't got my whole rhythm down of complete sizes and everything that I want. And I'm pretty sure if anyone's out there that started it up, they kind of wanted to play with it too, because it's just a fantastic tool to have. And man, trying to get everything done, especially if you've gone to any lumber stores, you can know that the price of lumber is just skyrocketing. I mean, it's getting up there. So keep that in mind. I mean, it's not bad for the price, and you get to use all this later to look at going, that was once a tree I cut down, or in this case was already falling down when we got the place. It's just great. So hope y'all have a good one. Y'all be careful. Can't wait to see y'all next time. Be safe. Later.